Hello, I'm William Brougham, and this is the panel show's Hear the Music. And just look at this backdrop. You don't get more, and I'm not exaggerating the term, you don't get much more iconic than this. We've got the bridge, we've got the Opera House, and we're coming to you from the suburb of Kirribilli. On today's show, we're very honoured to have as our special guest a musician from Western Sydney, from the band Noon Shift, Nick Lowe. Welcome to the panel show's Hear the Music. How are you going?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm great. And to have this as a backdrop, you don't get much better.
No, not at all. It's unreal.
Tell us a bit about your music.
Bit about the music. Well, I mean, we started playing together in Year 8 at Guitar Ensemble. So one of the teachers put it all together. And at one point we just decided, let's try doing a band. And I guess we just stuck with it. We've written a few songs, put a few out on the internet and that kind of stuff, played a few gigs, and yeah, just enjoying ourselves with it.
When did your interest in music first start?
Good question. I guess it's something that a lot of people would probably say they have from birth. It's kind of like you just grow up and just anything music, you're just like, oh shit, that's cool. And I think as you get older, or as I got older, you start to have an interest in like starting to develop it rather than just like a feeling. It's like it starts to become something that you do. Hopefully that's not too cryptic and makes some sort of sense. But yeah, it's just something that you grow up with, and yeah.
And you set the band up with some classmates. How did they get involved?
Well, we all kind of met in Guitar Ensemble at school because, I mean, we all wanted to play music, and it was all like Year 7, Year 8, you go to new high school and you don't really know anyone. So you're like, well, let's join the Guitar Ensemble and see who's there. So we all kind of met each other through that, and you know, we were getting along pretty well just there. And I mean, I had my bass player Michael was in a few of my classes, so we got along pretty well, and we just decided, yeah, let's do a band.
Now, who inspires your music?
I'd say the big ones would be Foo Fighters. Like, I've been listening to them since I was maybe 9 or so. Still loving it. They'd be the big ones. Gang of Youths, they're like newer. Do you listen to them at all?
I know Foo Fighters. Gang of Youths, I worry I'm getting a little bit too old for that kind of thing. But do check them out, Gang of Youths.
There you go, free shout out. Yeah, yeah, they're great. New, I mean, you can't beat the classics, like you can't beat AC/DC.
Love AC/DC.
Yeah,
saw
great.
them live in concert in Milton Keynes in the UK.
Oh, you're
One
kidding.
of the most amazing concerts I've been to. There's the guy who comes out in his school uniform.
Oh, totally.
Wild. I mean, these guys were probably 50s, 60s, but they still had it.
Yeah,
Long way
it's
to
wild.
the top, fun stuff, all those great
Can't beat
songs.
it. Yeah, great stuff. I mean, those would be the big ones, I'd say. Yeah.
It's fantastic to hear somebody so young, because you're only 19, who loves these Aussie rockers.
Oh yeah, you can't beat the Aussie rockers. Yeah. I mean, unless you're the American rockers, they're pretty good too.
Now, you describe your genre as alternative rock. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, honestly, haven't put a whole lot of thought into how it's alternative rock.
I'm asking the tough questions.
It's just like, I don't know, we listen to Foo Fighters, people say, oh, they're alternative rock, and a lot of the music I listen to is alternative rock. And I suppose if the music that you write's kind of affected by the music you listen to, I'd say that it's alternative rock because of that.
Now, tell us a bit about the passion behind your music.
The passion behind it. I mean, as I said, it's just something that we all grew up enjoying. Just, I guess it's quite special to be able to be a musician and have that outlet to, you know, express yourself in. Because I mean, I guess everyone has their outlet, whether it be like sports or, you know, visual arts or whatever. But I suppose for me it's music, and the passion behind it's usually just emotions, or, you know, something you saw on a TV show that you want to write about. I guess just to share your thoughts in one way or another.
In 2018, you released your debut album, Fuse. How did that come about?
Well, that's funny, actually. We started that off by playing something called youth rock, which, like, if you're a young band, you should do it. It's fun as.
Do it.
Yeah. So yeah, it's called youth rock, and it's just this competition where high schools get a representative band from each school if they're interested, and they just take part in that, and the winners get prizes. So because we came like third or something, we won studio time. So
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's a pretty awesome prize.
That's a great prize.
Because studio time doesn't come cheap, does it?
No, it's like a decent prize, especially like a full day. It can cost you a fair bit.
And when you're a student, every penny counts.
Yeah, very well said. Yeah.
I'd try. I had elocution.
Oh, I don't even know what that word means. Enlighten me.
It hurts. Carry on.
Anyway, yeah, so we won that studio time, so we're like, oh shit, we should probably have something to record. So we wrote a few songs, like we were working on a few, and we decided to just put them down, and we're like, oh, well, I guess we got songs recorded, go put them out and put them together, and yeah, just kind of came about that way.
When you write a song, what inspires the song? Where do you get your ideas from?
Other songs.
Other songs?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like, I don't know, there's like that saying, great artists steal. Not a great artist.
You're not a plagiarizer though.
What's that?
You're not a plagiarizer.
Nah, you just gotta, it's like when you chuck it through, when you're doing your assignment, you chuck it through other thing. It's like plagiarism checker, and then you just change it so it doesn't come up.
So you can get away with it.
Exactly.
But what I'm getting at is the concepts to your songs.
The concepts.
Is it life experience? What comes into it? Is it sadness you've experienced? Is it happiness? Is it joy?
I think it's a bit of everything, I suppose. It's kind of the light and dark of you know, of life in general that inspires the music, and I kind of draw from my own relationships and experiences, and sometimes it's like kind of weird, but I'll like try and relate to people from TV shows like you know, The Walking Dead and whatnot. Great show. Like, yeah, so if there's a story or something from that I kind of relate to, I try and understand, you know, that character, and kind of write from their perspective, and yeah, that kind of inspires the words, and the music's mostly inspired by things that I like the sound of from the artists that I listen to.
And of course, as we mentioned earlier, you're inspired by bands like the Foo Fighters, and of course, my favourite band, Gang of Youths. They're amazing. I've got all their singles, their albums, they're on YouTube, they're everywhere.
They are.
So there's a number of you in the band. I think there's, what, 4 of you?
Yeah.
Do you ever
square
have any,
number.
It's a good square number, a good even number. Do you ever find any challenges working together?
Yeah, of course we do. Sometimes. Sometimes it's just about, you know what, that's probably the best question so far, because I can't answer it. But
oh, I'm difficult today, aren't I?
I'd say, I guess the challenge is kind of just making sure that everyone's voice is heard. I mean, I guess for me personally, as probably like the person who comes up with the basis of the songs, you kind of, well, I personally come up with like a kind of vision for what everything sounds like, but the important thing is that everyone else in the band is a contributor, and because of that, I suppose everyone needs to have an equal part in writing. So yeah.
What do you love most about songwriting?
Well, I'd say the biggest thing I enjoy about it is the ability to kind of express yourself and your thoughts and emotions through music. That'd be a big one. I suppose it's also just fun to have created something and to look back on it and know that you left a mark. I mean, I guess that's kind of the same with anything. I mean, if you, like, I enjoy gardening, so sometimes you plant something, you look back at your thing that's grown, and you say, yeah, I'm glad that I put that there. And I suppose it's the same with music.
What's been the reaction to your music so far?
I guess most people have liked it. You know, it's been pretty good. I think people are enjoying it. I guess it's just about getting it to more people so that it's not falling on deaf ears or something, you know. I suppose the important thing about creating music is that you're sharing it, especially if you feel like it's important, you know.
Do you have any groupies?
Groupies?
Like big fans who follow you everywhere?
Well, we've got our group of friends, that's about it right now. Slowly. I think we got one fan. We got one fan that I don't know where she came from. But
just appeared, a random.
Yeah, but she's very important because, you know, like, it's almost like a proof of concept that, like, what you're doing could be worthwhile, you know?
Well,
just
it's validation.
Someone enjoys it. Yeah,
it's a form of validation. That's it. Know that you're doing something right, and nobody that you've previously been connected to is giving you that support, giving you that love, and telling you they love your music.
Yeah, you know what? You put that like so much better than I ever could have. So
I've had years of practice, but you're doing brilliantly. It's an absolute honour to have you on the show.
Oh, thank you.
But you perform live sometimes, don't you?
Yeah, totally. I think we're playing this Friday, whenever.
What kind of venues do you perform in?
Mostly it's bars and clubs at this point. Yeah.
What's the reception like?
The reception? It's really quite wild. Sometimes, well, when I say wild, I mean it varies wildly. Not wild all the time. Sometimes it's wild, so sometimes when you have that rowdy crowd and you're playing after everyone's had a few drinks, yeah, it's just unreal. Like, it's just really fun and you vibe off the crowd. Other times, there's not a whole lot of people there, but you know what? It's still fun because at the end of the day, you're still on stage with your mates and, you're there creating something, I suppose, and not everyone has that opportunity, so it's special.
Something I've often wondered is, do you have a trick, and I often ask singers this, for remembering lyrics?
No, you just got to practice the song.
Do you ever forget them?
Yeah.
And what do you do?
You forget all the time.
Do you improvise?
Well, sometimes you improvise, sometimes you just murmur them, and sometimes it's just so loud and everyone's so drunk that it doesn't really matter if you murmur the lyrics.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years' time with the band? Do you think you'll still be going?
I hope so. I don't know if I want to commit to anything. I want to say that I'll be anywhere. Hopefully we're still doing it, and hopefully it's been enjoyable.
But what would be your dream?
The dream? That's a big question. I suppose just to be able to share it with as many people as possible, and be able to have people who relate to the music we make, and just to have it have an effect on people, and I think that would be the most important part to me.
Now, what advice do you have for other budding musicians?
Jeez, I'm only 19, I don't have much advice, but I'll try my best. I suppose just play a lot, especially if you're younger, just practice in the garage, and just don't worry about being bad, because you get better. And I suppose that's the thing, you just got to do it. Like, just do it and enjoy it, and spend as much time as you can doing whatever your passion is, whatever particular passion in music you have is, whether it be playing with a band or recording music or just writing songs or singing alone. I suppose just do it a lot.
You're only 19, and I know you say you're only 19, but a lot of 19-year-olds like yourself have great life experiences too. But what advice would you give your younger self?
That's a good one.
It's a tough question.
It is a tough question. Advice I give to my younger self, I'd probably say, I don't know, write more songs.
Write more songs. Why do you say that?
I don't know, because maybe they'd be a little bit better, Maybe practice more.
Now, you mentioned gardening.
Yeah.
What other interests do you have outside music?
Oh, well, all the boys in the band and I like fishing.
Fishing?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great day, like, just, to bring it back to the backdrop, like...
Blue skies, a harbour, water.
Yeah, just going out on the tinny and pulling out some radioactive fish from the Sydney Harbour that you can't eat. But...
Tasty. Gardening, how did you get into gardening, and why gardening?
I don't know, it's fun. Well, actually, I've always had like a passion for woodworking. So at one point we were doing some work outside in our backyard, and we decided that we'd put some pavers in where we previously had grass, and I was like, had this vision, I was like, you know what, let's have this whole outdoor area where you can kind of cook and, just be with your family and take it easy. So I had this idea, got on Pinterest, and I looked up, Italian style garden or something. So the way that relates to the woodworking is that I was like, oh, I'll build a table, a nice, nice hardwood table. And I was like, well, you need plants to go with it. You can't just be staring at the fence. So you need plants. So I've been getting into planting. I guess I just like to make everything I do a bit better. So I've been looking it up.
Types of plants?
Anything you can eat. I love strawberries, oranges.
So like a vegetable garden, really?
Yeah, exactly.
And a fruit garden?
Yeah. And flowers are cool too, because they're
beautiful.
Pretty. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. Any other interests or passions?
That's a good question. I'm trying to speak on behalf of the band for things we all like.
Well, what about you, Nick?
Oh.
The band is wonderful, but I want to also know about you.
Okay. Well, I like going on adventures just anywhere. I mean, even coming here today was quite the adventure, you know, just jumping on the train. Even though I've done it 1,000 times before, it's still fun to go places, see new things, experience things you haven't experienced before.
There's so much to see in Sydney.
Yeah.
It's such a huge city.
Oh, totally.
And then to have this backdrop.
Yeah, totally, which is real. Yeah, I suppose
Yeah, it's a real backdrop. No artificial green screens here.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose those are the big ones. I mean, apart from like being creative and doing music stuff, I just like to hang out with the people who I enjoy the company of. And, you know, that's about it.
I think that's
as special as it gets. Yeah.
That's the main thing, isn't it? To be able to bounce off people that you get on with, that you have a rapport with.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So for the short-term future, what are your hopes?
Hopes? Well, we're going to be releasing some music next year, and I suppose in a different way to the last release we did, where we just really wanted to put music out for people to listen to. We're kind of taking it a bit slower and really focusing on our marketing and you know, building an audience and making sure that when we put it out, as many people will be able to listen to it as possible. Just so that, like, yeah, we can have a lot of people listening to it. Yeah, that's about it. That's just what we want to do differently.
Thanks so much, Nick Lowe, for joining us here on the panel shows Hear the Music with this beautiful backdrop of the Sydney Opera House. We've been coming to you from Kirribilli, and of course my guest has been Nick Lowe from the Western Sydney band Noon Shift. But we can't let you go. You've got to do something for us.
Yeah.
We want to hear a song.
Sure, let's do it.
You're okay with that?
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Sunday afternoon, a wave of feeling cries in your familiar room. Maybe a final time, and we jump across these cracks because we're scared to think what never was or never could be. We refuse to say the game is lost as we try to comprehend the cost of failing to simply see. When it aches my mind, just to think that what we had is dead and gone, till we waste our time. Or did the loving overcome the pain it caused? Feel for me, for you, for me, for us. Friday in the morning, we spend a little time. Cannot help but fall in love with the small things that I wholly know deep down that it's not right. I won't ask, but I still want to know. If I take a chance, where will I go with you? If I go at all. And our past creates our future, so we'll follow on this bumpy road till we're paralyzed and can't move at all. And it aches my mind just to think that what we had is dead and gone, till we waste our 'cause you don't care. And I cannot blame you, 'cause I know that it's unfair in love and war. I think I'm fighting it. Think I'm fighting it. I think I'm fighting it. I think I'm fighting it. I'm fighting this war. I'm fighting this war. I'm fighting this war. So won't you come home? Big one would be like being able to express your thoughts and your feelings through another kind of thing, like a different format than just.
We just had the bell.
Right,
we'll
out.
take that from the top.
Oh, okay.
Do you want me
sure.
to ask the question again, Bruce?
Yeah, just wait till they come in.
Yeah, what? I might turn my phone off too. That reminds me.
Good thinking.